I think it's about time that I upgrade my bow. I heard this twisted bow thing is pretty good. Just let me check how much it costs. It costs 1 point what? I'm alright. An item's price in any market is dictated by the relation of its supply and demand. So technically, the list is going to be based on which items aren't useful enough to deserve their demand. Coupled with low supply, it creates items that are super expensive compared to their actual worth. Starting with list entry number 5, Blade of SAELDOR. This is a special one. This weapon currently costs about 120 million, which makes it one of the most expensive melee weapons in the game. Even worse, if you want it to be non-degradable, it costs another 17 million for the 1000 crystal shards it costs to do that. The problem with this price is that it's usually not any better than its cheaper competitors, such as the Garzi Rapier at 81 million or the Osmumpton's Fang at 71 million. They have extremely similar DPS in most cases, and I can't really think of a place where it'd be better enough for it to ever be worth buying. Why is it the fun one on this list? Its price is not dictated by its demand. In fact, it's a quite rare sight to even see one. This is due to the fact that it's made from an enhanced crystal weapon seed that you get from a drop from Corrupted Gauntlet. You wanna know what else is made of these? Bofa, also known as Bow of Ferdinand, which is in a way bigger demand, and for that item, I'd go as far to call it underpriced, since in many places, it's almost as good and sometimes even better than the Twisted Bow, which is about 10 times its price. But you know what isn't underpriced? Our place number 4, Amulet of Eternal Glory. This one is actually kind of useful, but again, not really. You have a super low chance to obtain this amulet while charging regular glories at the Wilderness Fountain of Rune, and what it does, it gives you unlimited glory amulet teleport charges. What's bad about it? Its price is over 60 million GP. What's ugly about it? Regular glory charges are practically free, since people charge them mostly for the chance of getting the eternal version. So the demand for uncharged ones is about the same as for the charged ones. So you could make this tiny 60 million investment and you could do something really awesome. Teleport with an amulet of glory. The exact same thing that you can do with the regular glory, also with no cost. Another fun thing with regular glories is that if you mount them in your house, they also have unlimited charges. So technically you can have a free amulet of eternal glory at your house. You know what else doesn't deserve eternal glory? The item number 3, Volatile Nightmare Staff. The staff itself is worth just 39 million GP. The super rare Volatile orb attached to it, also dropped by the Nightmare boss, is priced at about 265 million. And you know what it does? It gives a special attack to the staff that deals some extra damage for one hit. That's it. This makes this staff a sensible buy at exactly, let me check, 0 PVM applications. So it's only useful in PvP. The caveat is also very rare to see in PvP due to it being way more expensive than other comparable special attack weapons, including the Armadil Godsword, which just costs 10 million. You know what costs even less than 10 million? Clicking the subscribe button at 0 million GP. But you know what costs even more than 10 million? The list entry number 2, the ELYSIAN Spirit Shield. Sitting at over 600 million GP, the most expensive shield in the game, surprisingly doesn't have that many use cases, and I'm convinced that it's mainly bought by collectors for flexing purposes. It is the best one-handed tanking shield in the game without any offensive bonuses. This sounds good on paper, but most PvM encounters value DPS over survivability, so in those cases, any other shield even with a +1 offensive stat is technically superior. Due to this, it has a very limited amount of use cases, other than getting style points while bank standing. It is great at Inferno, and tanking most God Wars bosses, and also technically in PvP, but it's again very rarely taken to the Wilderness, as the risk of losing it is just not worth it. If you ask me, paying this amount for a shield that's only useful in a few rare situations doesn't make too much sense. You know what else doesn't make too much sense? The spot number 1 on this list. Third Age Druidic Robes. In fact, this could be any third age item, since they're all pretty much useless, but these are the most expensive ones by far. The robe top costs about 1.6 billion, while the bottoms are about 1.3 billion. This makes their combined price close to 3 billion GP. That's 3,000 millions. 3 with 9 zeros. Putting it in comparison, if you would kill Vorkath 40 hours a week like a full-time job, these would take you about 6 months to get, which is absolutely ridiculous, considering they have absolutely no bonuses other than a combined +14 prayer bonus, which is technically a good prayer bonus, but you know what also has a combined +14 prayer bonus? The proselyte top and bottoms, which together cost a whopping 22,000 GP. That's 22 with 3 zeros, not to be mistaken with 9 zeros. The robes are only this expensive due to their status as a collectible item, since they are an extremely rare drop from Master Clues, so they are usually only bought for bank standing. I don't think they look cool enough to be worth 3 billion, but again, what do I know? I'm not even going to tell you about the remaining 2 pieces of the set that would add another billion on top of this price, since it's not for the faint of heart. So if you enjoyed this top 5 list, there's another top 5 list on the screen. I'm sure you'd enjoy that one too. Until then, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.